"There's something strange about her," said her friend. "The great change is that she brought back with her the shadow of Alexei Vronsky," said the ambassador's wife. "Well, what of it?" "There's a fable of Grimm's about a man without a shadow, a man who's lost his shadow." "And that's his punishment for something." "I never could understand how it was a punishment." "But a woman must dislike being without a shadow." "Yes, but women with a shadow usually come to a bad end," said Anna's friend. "Bad luck to your tongue," said Princess Myakaya suddenly. "Madame Karenina is a splendid woman." "I don't like her husband, but I like her very much." "Why don't you like her husband?" "He's such a remarkable man," said the ambassador's wife. "My husband says there are few statesmen like him in Europe." "And my husband tells me just the same, but I don't believe it," said Princess Myakaya. "If our husbands didn't talk to us, we should see the facts as they are. Alexei Alexandrovich, to my thinking, is simply a fool." I say it in a whisper, but doesn't it really make everything clear? Before, when I was told to consider him clever, I kept looking for his ability, and thought myself a fool for not seeing it, but directly I said, he's a fool, though only in a whisper, everything's explained, isn't it? How spiteful you are today. Not a bit. I'd no other way out of it. One of the two had to be a fool. And, well, you know, one can't say that of oneself. No one is satisfied with his fortune, and everyone is satisfied with his wit. The attaché repeated the French saying. That's just it, just it. Princess Myakaya turned to him. But the point is that I won't abandon Anna to your mercies. She's so nice, so charming. How can she help it if they're all in love with her, and follow her about like shadows? Oh, I had no idea of blaming her for it, Anna's friend said in self-defense. If no one follows us about like a shadow, that's no proof that we've any right to blame her. And having duly disposed of Anna's friend, the Princess Myakaya got up, and together with the ambassador's wife, joined the group at the table, where the conversation was dealing with the King of Prussia. What wicked gossip were you talking over there? Asked Betsy. About the Karenins. The princess gave us a sketch of Alexei Alexandrovich, said the ambassador's wife with a smile, as she sat down at the table. Pity we didn't hear it, said Princess Betsy, glancing towards the door. Ah, here you are at last, she said, turning with a smile to Vronsky, as he came in. Vronsky was not merely acquainted with all the persons whom he was meeting here, he saw them all every day, and so he came in with the quiet manner with which one enters a room full of people from whom one has only just parted. Where do I come from? He said, in answer to a question from the ambassador's wife. Well, there's no help for it, I must confess. From the opera bouffe _. I do believe I've seen it 100 times, and always with fresh enjoyment. It's exquisite. I know it's disgraceful, but I go to sleep at the opera, and I sit out the opera bouffe to the last minute, and enjoy it. This evening. He mentioned a French actress, and was going to tell something about her, but the ambassador's wife, with playful horror, cut him short. Please don't tell us about that horror. All right, I won't, especially as everyone knows those horrors. And we should all go to see them if it were accepted as the correct thing, like the opera, chimed in Princess Myakaya. Chapter 7. Steps were heard at the door, and Princess Betsy, knowing it was Madame Karenina, glanced at Vronsky. He was looking towards the door, and his face wore a strange new expression. Joyfully, intently, and at the same time timidly, he gazed at the approaching figure, and slowly he rose to his feet. Anna walked into the drawing room. Holding herself extremely erect, as always, looking straight before her, and moving with her swift, resolute, and light step, that distinguished her from all other society women, she crossed the short space to her hostess, shook hands with her, smiled, and with the same smile looked around at Vronsky. Vronsky bowed low and pushed a chair up for her. She acknowledged this only by a slight nod, flushed a little, and frowned. But immediately, while rapidly greeting her acquaintances, and shaking the hands proffered to her, she addressed Princess Betsy. I have been at Countess Lydia's, and meant to have come here earlier, but I stayed on. Sir John was there. He's very interesting. Oh, that's this missionary? Yes, he told us about the life in India, most interesting things. The conversation, interrupted by her coming in, flickered up again like the light of a lamp being blown out. Sir John. Yes, Sir John, I've seen him. He speaks well.